Hi there, Malcolm here with my 247th Booktube video, and today I'm going to bring you my review for Terminal World by Alastair Reynolds. I listened to this on Audible and it was read to me by John Lee. This is a standalone sci-fi adventure story which starts on some atmosphere-piercing skyscraper type structure that has a number of tiers on it, and each tier has a separate degree of technology. And so at the top, where the angels live, is the highest technology, and at the bottom it's more like the Wild West of the lower technology, and there's various stages in between. And we start off at Neon Heights, so it sounds very sort of 80s steampunk. And we follow a chap called Quillen, who is a mortician and is also a former angel. Or he still technically is an angel, but he's in disguise. There was a thing that was going to happen, but he's now living his life in Neon Heights, looking at dead bodies. And one day, the dead body that's put before him is that of an angel that has plummeted from above. It's alive, which is a bit of a surprise, and it gives him a message, and then dies. Basically, they're after him, get out. So he enlists the help of a bounty hunter guide type character, and she basically helps him, escapes the tower, and off they go on horseback across the wilderness to get away from the threat within. And that's pretty much the setup of the story. And one of the key interesting aspects I found with this one was this zonage. Like I say, each zone has its own technological level, and if you change between zones, two things happen. One, certainly if you go from a higher zone to a lower zone, the gadgets that you have on your person or in your person stop working or become less functional, and only more basic technology will actually work. You know, gears will literally seize up. So it's not just electronic, it's physical as well, but also affects the body in some way. And Quillen has a bag of medication, which seems almost endless, but he is able to administer the right dosages to himself and his companions so that they can survive zone sickness as they travel between the various zones. I was actually fascinated by this zone idea. I'd concluded it was perhaps something to do with nanobots or quantum, if not anything else. But unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, at no point during the story do they actually explain just why the zones are there and what they and how they work, who put them into place. It's just there they are. And the story continues almost in sort of a Mad Max style madcap adventure as they encounter bandits. They called them Skullboys, and some freaky cyborg robot things called Plasmavorgs, before being picked up by the local militia. I think the Brotherhood of Steel from the Fallout series. And then finally a plot kicks in and we then move on from there. So on the one part, it is a bit of a rambling adventure story as we go here and encounter this, and then go here and encounter that, and then encounter this. And with no real direction. I mean, there was loosely they're going to meet up with some people, but that very quickly becomes a non-event. And it sort of meanders a little in that aspect. Now, I for one really enjoyed that. I'm not saying I wouldn't have preferred a plot, or at least a direction in which we were going, but the world was so rich and vibrant with all these different things and peoples and creatures and machines and these zones. I was really enjoying learning about it all and hoping to find out more. Now the second part, they're with this militia called the Swarm, and they then decide to do a thing because something's happened, which then reveals more about this world that we're in. It becomes very clear that we're not actually on Earth. I won't give it away, but there are a few pointers to help you single out just which planet we are on. And there's a few hints as to what this tower that he came from actually is. Now, if you think you know what it is, you're wrong, but you're not completely wrong. I'll leave it as vague as that. The character of Quillen I thought was a pretty likeable chap. He was a stickler for doing the right thing, even at great personal cost to himself. And yeah, I really enjoyed how it played out. I'll say that it's a really rich, vibrant world, and a nice blend of cyberpunk, steampunk, Wild West, Mad Max, Fallout, and Alien. So I'd say it was definitely worth buying. I thought John Lee did a really good job reading it to me. I think had it had a more coherent plot from earlier on, I might have given it a higher score, but I really enjoyed it. So, have you read or listened to Terminal World? I think it's currently free on Audible at the moment, which is partly why I listen to it. Have you read anything else by Alastair Reynolds that you've liked? Comments down below, please. But as usual, if you have nothing nice, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you, and until next time, see you later.